What's up guys, it's me Jeremy. It happens to all of us. We're ahead in the game and then some stupid stuff happens that we'd rather not talk about. Our opponents mount a comeback, we throw again, and then we lose a game that was once certain victory. Here's some tips on, well, how to not do that. Let's get started. The first thing you want to do kind of goes without saying, but it's to avoid bad fights. Don't fight uneven fights, and have a plan for how you want to team fight properly. If a player gets caught out by a key crowd control ability, disengage the fight. Since you're already ahead, your opponent getting one kill doesn't mean too much, but for them, winning a team fight can be huge. Also, make sure to communicate with your team. While it may be your teammates' fault that the throw occurred in the first place, that doesn't mean you couldn't have done anything about it. Planning out the game while alerting the team of bad fights or dangerous situations through pings is crucial to avoiding bad fights. Keep in mind that communication is the only way to influence the plays of your allies, so if something feels like it's your teammates' fault, you need to talk out the situation with them. And of course, be sure to do so in a nice way. In addition, you need to play out your lead in a safe way. Pressure objectives and let the lead build up, and don't really teamfight unless it's in a good spot. Don't overcommit to fights too. You don't want to force plays. Just go for the standard play of pushing all lanes and pressuring, while after you take an inhibitor, proceed to push down the other two lanes. And most of the time you want to avoid Baron as well, as the entire pit and area around it is a choke point, so it's really easy to have bad positioning there. And so Baron is almost always going to be a really risky play. Unless you've killed the opposing jungler or other members, then you can just turn and fight if they contest. In addition, you need to understand the late game situation of your game. You always want to be thinking ahead. If the opponents have a strong late game composition, you need to be more aggressive in your pressure. But it's mostly about understanding what you need to do in teamfights. Because once the game hits the late game, you need to change your playstyle and play differently based on the comps of both you and your opponent. The next thing is actually probably the least common thing I see people do to avoid throws, and that's to control vision. And the way you do this is through pink wards. Pink wards are the replacement for the oracles of old, and when you have a lead, just like with oracles back then, having 3 or 4 pinks on the map can be amazing for controlling the vision as a team. And if you deny vision from your opponents, you deny their ability to gank you and potentially come back into the game, which is huge. Controlling vision properly while ahead by warding heavily while denying the opponent's vision through sweepers and pings will pretty much ensure that none of your teammates get caught out. And lastly, the most important and the most difficult thing to do to avoid throws is to control your emotions and avoid tilting. In reality, it's not just one throw that will cost you a game. It's usually 3 or 4 major throws that result in you giving up a lead and losing. After one throw, people kind of just laugh it off, like, okay, let's try for real now. But after the second one, a lot of people will get angry. And by that time, it's often too late to stop the throws that eventually result in you losing the game. Because you get desperate, you get mad, you were so far ahead, are you really going to lose? And you will if you don't calm yourself down. Take a breather and relax for a second. I personally like to use a bottle of water as my anti-tilt method to relax for a quick second after I make a bad play. Find out what works for you. Maybe it's water, food, or even just taking a deep breath and zoning out for 5 seconds or so. It's not over till it's over, and that goes for both the winning and the losing sides of a game. So never assume a game is won until you are on the nexus. My name is Jeremy, and that's it for my video on how to avoid throws. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to check out some of my others on the screen right now, or stay connected at facebook.com/gamingcurios. Drop a like, share this video, and make sure to subscribe for some more awesome content in the future. And as always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.